They called her useless, until the president called her during training. Lieutenant Rachel Myers had always been underestimated. In the elite training facility of the United States Special Operations Command, whispers followed her everywhere. She wasn't the fastest runner, nor did she have the brute strength of some of her male counterparts. Her peers called her useless, behind her back, and some even had the audacity to say it to her face. But Rachel didn't let it break her. She had joined the military not for recognition or glory, but because she believed in something bigger than herself. She knew she had skills that others couldn't see, skills that required patience, intelligence, and precision. But proving that in an environment dominated by muscle and bravado was a daily challenge. The day started like any other. Rachel stood in the early morning fog of the training grounds, her uniform crisp but her mind restless. The obstacle course stretched before her, a gauntlet of walls, wires, and water. Her teammates had already started, and she could hear the occasional jeers. "Come on, Myers. Try not to trip over your own feet." Maybe the president should send a medal for effort instead of results. She clenched her jaw, focused, and began her run. She knew brute strength alone wouldn't win this. By the time she reached the final section, a simulated hostage rescue in a dense urban of her teammates were already exhausted, their energy spent. Rachel, however, moved calmly, analyzing the situation, listening to the instructions she had memorized during countless drills, and adapting to unexpected challenges thrown at her by the instructors. It was during this exercise that the unexpected happened. A call came through on the facility's secured line, interrupting the simulation. The instructors hesitated, looking puzzled. "The president?" one of them whispered. "Yes," said another, checking the screen. "It's for Lieutenant Myers." Rachel froze. Her heart raced, not with fear, but with disbelief. The President of the United States, the Commander-in-Chief, personally calling her during training. She had never imagined such a thing. She took a deep breath, squared her shoulders, and answered the call with the respect and composure she had been drilled to maintain. "Lieutenant Myers," the president said, his voice firm but encouraging. "I've been briefed on your performance and your approach to the recent missions. I need you on a special assignment. Your skills are exactly what we require." For a moment, Rachel felt like she might be dreaming. The president, someone whose schedule could barely allow a single minute to any individual soldier, was reaching out to her directly. Take exercise. The jeers, the doubts of her peers, it all seemed insignificant compared to this moment. "Sir," she managed to say, keeping her voice steady, "I'm ready." The president continued, explaining a high-priority mission that required not just strength or firepower, but precision, intellect, and quick problem-solving under pressure. Rachel listened intently, absorbing every detail, committing it to memory. This mission wasn't something anyone could just muscle through. It needed someone who could think critically and act decisively in high-stakes situations. As the call ended, Rachel realized something profound. All the mockery, all the whispered insults, they had never been about her lack of ability. They were about the fact that no one could see her kind of talent until it was needed. Brute force can be seen, numbers can be counted, but intuition, strategy, and foresight are invisible to the casual observer. And now, those invisible skills had just earned the highest recognition. When she returned to the training ground, her peers looked at her with confusion. Some were incredulous, others embarrassed by their earlier comments. The instructors, who had always kept their judgment impartial, now offered subtle nods of acknowledgement. Rachel didn't gloat. She simply went about completing the remainder of the exercise with the same focus and dedication as before. She had learned that validation, especially the meaningful kind, often comes quietly and sometimes from places you'd never expect. By the end of the week, Rachel had been briefed in depth for her assignment. She was to lead a team of specialists on a delicate operation involving intelligence retrieval, requiring both stealth and rapid response under pressure. The president's call wasn't the who's symbolic. It was a clear acknowledgement of her capabilities and trust in her judgment. The next time her peers attempted to mock her, the atmosphere had shifted. They whispered less boldly now, understanding that Rachel Myers was not someone to underestimate. Her approach to challenges methodical, intelligent, and calm under pressure had proven itself where strength alone could not. Rachel's story soon circulated beyond the training facility. In an institution where assumptions often overshadow skill, she became a quiet legend, a reminder that talent is not always measured in speed, strength, or volume. Sometimes, it's measured in clarity of thought, calm decision-making, and the courage to trust in oneself, despite the doubts of others. The lesson was simple, yet powerful. Never underestimate someone because they don't fit the expected mold. Strength isn't always visible, and excellence, isn't always lowered. And for Lieutenant Rachel Myers, the call from the president was proof that true skill will always be recognized, sometimes in the most extraordinary ways. Thanks for watching, and remember to subscribe for more inspiring stories.